Hello everyone. Today we're going to share another case of one of my patients who has sleeping trouble. I think this is going to be the last one of our sleeping trouble series for now. So this patient is a female patient who is about 35 years old. So she is working part-time from home, and she also has 2 children that goes to school. So apparently her work is very labor intensive, and it requires a lot of working hours, and sometimes she works till very late at night. So she came because of her she's basically feeling lack of energy, and she would like to get better energy, and other than that, she also had some poor digestion, so she's been getting acid reflux whenever she was eating sweets, and also irregular menstruation. She had been experiencing delayed menstruation up to 1 to 2 weeks in the past. This case is still a work in progress, but I have seen her twice already, and so by the second time I saw her, she was improving already, so I gave her more medicine to take home for 2 weeks, I think. And I'm waiting for her to come back, because generally when we're treating with to help regulate menstruation, it will take at least 3 months to see like a good change. So let's go through her intake very quickly. Her sleep is quite okay. She falls asleep very quickly, within 30 minutes, but when she sleeps, she tends to dream a lot, so she remembers her dream. And one thing that stands out is that she tends to dream about water, so it can be anything from taking a shower, drinking water, to anything water related, or ocean, or swimming. So in Chinese medicine, when you dream about water, it indicates that there is some sort of deficiency, or you can say that it indicates something going on with the kidney systems, because in Chinese medicine, kidney systems belongs to the water elements of the 5 elements. So when you dream about water, it usually indicates kidney imbalance or kidney issues. So the smaller the water, it means the less of an issue, the lesser of an issue. So the bigger of the water, the more of the issue. So if you're dreaming about ocean or tsunami, then can be more severe than you're just dreaming about, drinking water or taking a shower. So basically, maybe she would dream about water a couple times a month. And she tends to be craving for sweets. So whenever her kids are having some snacks or sweets, she will want to take some from her children's hands. But after she has some sweets, she would feel like acid reflux. So the reason this is quite common, because nowadays the sweets are made from processed sugar, so it's usually made from white sugar, not from cane sugar or organic sugar. So when the sugar is being processed, it will become more acidic, and your people are more, if they have a digestion issue, they would tend to create acid reflux. And another thing, so in terms of how she feels about temperature, she doesn't like the wind. So whenever there's wind or drafts that's blowing at her, especially on her head, she will feel like really discomfort. In Chinese medicine, this just means that your pore is not well controlled by your body. So when your body is supposed to close the pores, it couldn't close, and then it leaves them open. So when there's a wind blowing at you, you get discomfort. And her energy level isn't very well, so she wants to nap. So whenever she gets a chance, or her kids are taking naps, she would try to take nap with them. So and she tends to get constipated, so sometimes she gets constipated, but the stool seems normal. It's not like the sheep poop, or like, tiny round stone. It looks normal. But she has unfinished feeling, and she finds that she lack of the strength to push the bowels, push the stools. Basically, it just means that there is a deficiency going on. And when you're constipated with normal stool, and there must be something going on with something out of ordinary, because normally our large intestine is responsible for absorbing water from the stools, right? So when you don't pass it every day, the stool stays in the intestine. If you are a healthy person, it should get drier and drier. But when she gets constipated, it's still normal stool. So meaning that her intestines are not absorbing the water so well. Maybe they're not moving as regularly as you should. It just has a slow movement. So her stool, when it comes out, it looks normal. So with this type of constipation, I have to be careful with laxative type of herbs, because that can really damage her. It can cause more issue for her, and she can get diarrhea very easily. So instead of laxative, I should be considering something to help to warm up and to return the normal function of the intestines. So next thing is about the urination. So she tends to get a little bit urgent urination. So when she wants to pee, she cannot hold it for very long, and it tends to be a smaller amount than usual. Another thing is that she has been experiencing palpitation, especially after drinking coffee. She also has been experiencing some dizziness. So from when she was very young, she started when she was very young. She gets car sick often, and when she stand up too quickly from a crouching position, for example, where she's tying her shoes and stands up very quickly, she can get a bit of dizziness. Her vision can turn dark. So, and from what we know, like when you're crouching and stand up very quickly, and you get the dark vision, it means that you have anemia, or some sort of anemia in Western medicine. But in Chinese medicine, this is considered some sort of dizziness. And next thing is delay period I explained before. So when I look at her tongue, it's a little bit bigger than normal. So if you want to go home and take a look at your tongue in the mirror, her tongue seems to be a bit puffy, seems to have a lot of moisture in her tongue, so it's a little bit more tender. So like meaning it's soft, it's very more flexible, kind of like maybe like a spongy type of texture, but not so. It's really hard to explain it. Well, I'll think of it. If I come up with a good explanation, I'll explain it next time. And when I'm checking her abdomen, remember this is her belly button. These are her ribs. So on the left side of her ribs, there is distension, discomfort when I'm pressing, and there's palpitation right above her belly button, and below her belly button, in her lower abdomen, the skin feels a little bit cool to touch. It's probably coming from inside, and she also feels a little bit more pain on just the right quadrant of her lower abdomen. And this this is the crotch area, so there is a bone here, so right next to the bone, this is where we check if there's any urination issues. So obviously she has some issues here. I'm just double confirming. So there is some sort of soreness, discomfort when I'm actually pressing here. Looking at her face, she has a more of a pale skin tone. So it's like pale with a little bit of a pink hue here. It looks very cute in a cosmetic or in an aesthetic way, but it's a good information that we take in in our eyes of a TCM practitioner. It just means that her body type can be more deficient, and she has more of heart weakness, so her heart is not as strong as a healthy person should be. And when I look at her eyes, I could see her the lower eyelid is more so when some people smile, you can see, like maybe even not smiling, you can see like the lower eyelid has kind of like mine, but more pronounced, more like what we say is like a silkworm shape. So it just means that there's more water. This type of person tend to retain more water in her body. So in the end, I prescribed a medicine, a combination of 小柴胡汤 plus 苓桂竹甘汤, which 小柴胡汤 helps with the liver function, to disperse the blood and qi, and 苓桂竹甘汤 basically helps with the palpitation, strengthening the heart, and improve water metabolism, and reduce swelling in her body. Can be a face, can be a limbs, also improve her intestine movement and digestion. So after 3 days of the herbs, she came back for a second visit, and in her second visit, she said she was dreaming less. Only one of the 3 days she had dreams that she remembered, and that day, because she had 3 cups of coffee, she has severe palpitation, and that night she couldn't sleep very well. Acid reflux has been reduced, and somehow she said her craving for sweets has reduced as well. So that's a good sign. So when our body is craving for sweets, it generally indicates that our spleen is not working as well as a healthy person. So because the nutrient that's from, let's say, the nutrient that tastes sweet, or the sweet nutrients will go replenish the spleen and improve the spleen function. So when somebody's cravings for sweets, it can be an indication of spleen deficiency. Her energy level has improved, so she no longer wants to. She feels better. She doesn't constantly feeling like wanting to take a nap. Stool situation has improved, so she says she has more strength to push, and she feel more finished every time she went. Next thing is that she no longer feel as urgent when she wants to pee. Dizziness she hasn't noticed any dizziness in the past in those 3 days. Palpitation she only felt it because that day she drank too much coffee. Then we'll see about the period after we see her for a few months. So overall, it's like a simple, straightforward case, and only from 3 days of medicine she could feel her body improving, energy getting better, more rested, better sleep, better digestion, better bowel movement. So she's pretty happy, and I'm pretty happy that she's progressing very, very quickly and very well, and we'll see her when she comes back. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave your message below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.